Vouchsafe to those that have not read the story, that I may prompt them. And if such as have, I humbly pray them to admit the excuse of time, of numbers and due course of things, which cannot in their huge and proper life be here presented. Now we bear the king towards Calais. Grant him there seen, heave him away upon your winged thoughts athwart the sea. Behold, the English beach pales in the flood with men, with wives and boys, whose shouts and claps outvoice the deep-mouthed sea, which, like a mighty whiffler for the king, seems to prepare his way. So let him land, and solemnly see him set on to London. So swift a pace have thought, that even now you may imagine him upon Blackheath, where that his lords desire him to have borne his bruised helmet and his bended sword before him through the city. He forbids it, being free from vainness and self-glorious pride, giving full signal, trophy, and ostent quite from himself to God. Now behold, in the quick forge and working house of thought, how London doth pour out her citizens, the mayor and all his brethren in best sort, like to the senators of the antique room, with the plebeians swarming at their heels, go forth and fetch their conquering Caesar in, as by a lower, but by loving likelihood, when now the general of our gracious empress, as in good time he may, from Ireland coming, bringing rebellion, broach it on his sword, how many would this peaceful city quit to welcome him? Much more, and much more cause did they this harry. Now in London place him. As yet, the lamentation of the French invites the King of England stay at home. The Emperor is coming on behalf of France to order peace between them, and admit all occurrences, whatever chanced, till Harry's back return again to France. There must we bring him. And myself have played the interim, by remembering you 'tis past. Then brook abridgment, and your eyes advance after your thoughts, straight back again to France.
Aha. Wow. Okay. So, slow it down. Slow it down, and so that you can give full value to the words and phrases that are so vivid. And allow yourself to breathe. Okay, try it again.
Okay.
First register.
Okay. Vouchsafe to those that have not read the story, that I may prompt them. And if such as have, I humbly pray them to admit the excuse of time.
What's a downward, that I may prompt them.
That I may prompt them.
That I may prompt them. And those that have.
Oh. Okay. Vouchsafe to those that have not read the story, that I may prompt them. That I may prompt them, and if such as have... Okay.
Vouchsafe to those that have not read the story, that I may prompt them, and if such as have, I humbly pray them to admit the excuse.
Okay. Vouchsafe to those that have not read the story, that I may prompt them, and if such as have, I humbly pray them to admit the excuse of time, of numbers and due course of things, which cannot in their huge and proper life be here presented. Now we bear the king toward Calais.
Do it again, Joe. You're still rushing.
I am? Okay.
And that means, you probably need some more phrasing points in there.
Okay. Sure. Vouchsafe to those that have not read the story, that I may prompt them, and of such as have, I humbly pray them to admit the excuse of time, of numbers and due course of things, which cannot, in their huge and proper life, be here presented. Now we bear the king towards Calais. Grant him there. There seen, heave him away upon your winged thoughts athwart the sea. Behold, the English beach pales in the flood with men, with wives and boys, whose shouts and claps outvoice the deep-mouthed sea, who, like a mighty whiffler for the king, seems to prepare his way. So let him land, and solemnly see him set on to London. So swift a pace have thought, that even now you may imagine him upon Blackheath, where that his lords desire him to have borne his bruised helmet and his bended sword before him through the city. He forbids it, being free from vainness and self-glorious pride, giving full signal, trophy, and ostent, quiet from himself to God. Now behold, in the quick forge and working house of thought, how London doth pour out her citizens. The mayor and all his brethren, in best sort, like to the senators of the antique Rome, with the plebeians swarming at their heels, go forth and fetch their conquering Caesar in, as by a lower, but by loving likelihood, we're now the general of our gracious empress, as in good time he may, from Ireland coming, bringing rebellion broached on his sword. How many would this peaceful city quit to welcome him? Much more, and much more cause did they this harry. Now in London place him. As yet, the lamentation of the French invites the King of England's stay at home. The Emperor is coming on behalf of France to order peace between them and admit all occurrences, whatever chanced, till Harry's back return again to France. There must we bring him, and myself have played the interim by remembering you 'tis past. Then brook abridgment, and your eyes advance after your thoughts, straight back again to France.
Okay. This is a difficult one.
Yeah.
Not that any of them are not difficult, but what's a whiffler?
I guess I was thinking of like a whistle or some kind of trumpet or something. You know, I don't know that I've ever looked that up. Oh, what? In the Arden here, it says, one of a body of attendants armed with javelin, battle axe, sword, or staff, and wearing a chain, employed to keep the way clear of a procession for a procession.
There you go.
Huh.
How long have you been working on this one, Joe?
Well, I memorized it quite some time ago.
Yeah.
And so...
Because it really just needs detail work.
Yeah.
And you know, when you're first working on something, as it happens just about with everybody, you just, you know, it's amazing how we discount so many things that are absolutely necessary until we get to know it better, because it's still not ingrained, you know. It's still not known well enough to get beyond just trying to make it clear. But I think you're still trying to make it clear to yourself.
Yeah, and there's some parts, I mean, there's a part here at the end, well, there's this part where it says, now, you know, now in London place him. And then, as yet, the lamentation of the French invites the King of England stay at home. And then the Emperor is coming in behalf of France. I mean, based on what they have here in the Arden, but also just the history itself, I guess this chorus part, I mean, he's talking about abridging.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's abridging, like, a pretty long period of time with this one speech.
Yeah. Yeah, he's talking about Harry going back to England for a while and then having to go back to France.
Yeah.
So it's a whole sequence of events that he can only describe because he doesn't have time.
Yeah. I think that sequence of events is not so clear in my mind in terms of what is actually partaking
right
in this period.
Yeah, but it sounds like after his time in France, he went back to England.
Yeah.
And then had to go back to France to work out some kind of peace.
Agreement. Yeah.
I think probably this chorus is usually cut.
Yeah, it's funny because he finally... Yeah, that's the thing that gets me. It's like, now in London place him. It's like, okay, he's finally made it to London, which probably took, you know, many months. I don't know how long the voyage was, but... And then as soon as he finally makes it to London, it's like, okay, now he's going back to France again.
Yeah, which is why he asks for...
forgiveness at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's saying we follow him going from where he was in France to Calais, which is on the coast
Of France. Yeah.
Near the coast of France, where he then gets on a ship and goes back to England. And as he approaches the English shore, the beach, there are all kinds of people there to welcome him. And you know, his soldiers and his lords want to give him some kind of great entrance, and he says, no, it's not. I didn't do it. God did it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes back to London, and all the people are there, not unlike Caesar. Where it gets a little complicated for me is and fetch their conquering Caesar in as, by a lower but as loving likelihood, we're now the general of our gracious empress, as a good time may, from Ireland coming, bringing rebellion broached on his sword. How many would the peaceful city quit to welcome him? I'm not sure what that is.
I think the reference is to like the time that this was written during Elizabeth's reign, when you had the whole Irish rebellion taking place, and so Essex, who is the general, was in Ireland at the time fighting that. At the time that the play was being presented, I guess he was in Ireland fighting the rebellion.
And what is this, our gracious Empress?
It's supposed to be Elizabeth.
Uh-huh.
That's my interpretation.
Interesting choice of words there.
Empress?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it implies an empire. Which I guess if you consider beating Scotland and Wales and Ireland into submission, then you have a kind of an empire.
Yeah, one of the references they have here in the footnotes is they reference a piece from Spenser called The Fairy Queen.
Yeah.
And he opens it. It says, "To the most high, mighty, and magnificent Empress, renowned for pity, virtue, and all gracious government, Elizabeth, by the grace of God, Queen of England, France, and Ireland, and of Virginia, defender of the faith," etc., etc.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot about France because you just conquered France.
Oh yeah, yes. Yeah.
That's good. So he's saying that how much more cause do these people have than Essex to welcome back Harry? Right?
Yeah.
Now in London, place him as yet the lamentation of the French invites the King of England's stay at home. The Emperor is coming in behalf of France to order peace between them and omit all the occurrences, whatever chanced, till Harry's back returned again to France. Till Harry's back return again to France. Is he referring to Harry as the Emperor?
No, the Emperor is supposed to be the Holy Roman Emperor, according to Arden's notes.
He would have been the King of France.
Really? I have no idea.
No, I don't know. Oh, okay. That.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Emperor is coming in behalf of France to order peace between them and omit all the occurrences, whatever chanced, till Harry's back return again to France. There we must bring in myself. So, yeah, but let me see. Well,
So,
it could be it could be the Spanish king then, Spanish emperor.
well, according to the footnotes here, and according to Holinshed's Chronicles, it was the Holy Roman Emperor Sigismund.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was. I keep mixing up when Shakespeare was writing and the time and.
The time of the play. Yeah.
Sigismund. Okay.
You know him?
No, I've only heard of him.
Okay.
Well, that makes it clear. Because now you can break it down into the sections, right? Where you ask forgiveness because you're going to have to truncate the story.
Mm-hmm.
And then you describe him going to Calais and then back to England and the reception that he got, and then going to London, and then going back to France.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's try it.
Okay.
Unless you want to go on to the next one and think about this one. It's up to you.
Let me try it.
Yeah, good, okay.
Okay. Vouchsafe to those that have not read the story, that I may prompt them. And if such as have, I humbly pray them to admit the excuse of time, of numbers and due course of things, which cannot in their huge and proper life be here presented. Now we bear the king towards Calais. Grant him there.
Make a bigger change there.
Yeah.
You're asking for forgiveness, and then you get to the story, right?
Yeah. Okay. Vouchsafe to those that have not read the story, that I may prompt them, and of such as have, I humbly pray them to admit the excuse of time, of numbers and due course of things, which cannot in their huge and proper life be here presented. Now we bear the king towards Calais. Grant him there. There seen, heave him away upon your winged thoughts athwart the sea. Behold, the English beach pales in the flood with men, with wives and boys, whose shouts and claps outvoice the deep-mouthed sea, which, like a mighty whiffler for the king, seems to prepare his way. So let him land, and solemnly see him set on to London. So swift a pace have thought, that even now you may imagine him upon Blackheath, where that his lords desire him to have borne his bruised helmet and his bended sword before him through the city. He forbids it, being free from vainness and self-glorious pride, giving full trophy, signal, and ostent, quite from himself to God. Now behold, in the quick forge and working house of thought, how London doth pour out her citizens, the mayor and all his brethren, in best sort, like to the senators of the antique Rome, with the plebeians swarming at their heels, go forth and fetch their conquering Caesar in, as by a lower, but by loving likelihood, when now the general of our gracious empress, as in good time he may, from Ireland coming, bringing rebellion, broach it on his sword, how many would this peaceful city quit to welcome him? Much more, and much more cause did they this harry. Now in London place him. As yet, the lamentation of the French invites the King of England stay at home. The Emperor is coming on behalf of France to order peace between them, and admit all the occurrences, whatever chanced, till Harry's back return again to France. There must we bring him. And myself have played the interim by remembering you 'tis past. Then brook abridgment, and your eyes advance after your thoughts, straight back again to France.
Okay, that was better. That was better. We just need the detail work now.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have a better understanding of it.
Yeah.
More phrasing points, Joe.
Okay.
Just go back and do the detail work on it.
Okay.
Make sure that the intervallic leaps are different, have variety.
Mm-hmm.
Phrasing points. For instance, that he forbids it being free from vainness and self-glorious pride, giving full trophy, signal, and ostent, quite from himself to God. Quite from himself to God. mean, it's a long, complex line, you know, and there's several of them in this that you just have to be very, very clear how to phrase it.
Mm. Yeah.
So bring it back.
Okay. Let me ask you one question. I don't know whether, in my version of the Arden here, there's a line where it says to order peace between them, and then admit all the occurrences. They have this thing marked in there about a supposed line that is missing between those two phrases.
Yeah.
To order peace between them, something, something, and admit all the occurrences.
I have omit.
Yep. Omit, yeah.
Okay.
But, I mean, it kind of seems to work anyway. But.
Yeah, I think it works.
Okay.
The Emperor is coming in behalf of France to order peace between them and omit all the occurrences, whatever chanced. So they're just wiping away all the death and mayhem that comes with war, you know, in order to move on to a peace, free of vengeance and free of reprisals and that sort of thing.
Okay.
That's the way I read it.
Yeah.
So, anything else on this one?
No. I think that's the main.
So just bring it back.
Okay.